hear your battle cry.
Hey guys, what's up? TechLashBrigowski here, and today we're going to do a review of the LG G4. Let's get into it. Okay guys, so I know it's been a while since I've actually done a review. I would like to say that the reason why I waited about a month and a half after buying the LG G4 to do a review of it was because I wanted to have long-term testing, but to be completely honest, I was just lazy. Jumping into it, I'm going to talk a little bit about the specs. Now, to start, it has a Snapdragon 808. A lot of people have been flaming about this on the internet because it doesn't have the flagship 810, which has a history of thermal throttling. This does not thermal throttle, runs just as well as an 810, and is cheaper for LG to make, which means more project margins for them and better products for us in the future. Not necessarily, but you get the idea. The camera is a kick-ass 16 megapixel camera with an f1.8 aperture, which is friggin' insane! Like, seriously, it's amazing. It takes awesome pictures. I know compared to something like the OnePlus 2, it seems to be falling a bit behind some of the camera comparisons. However, having a talk with a lot of people on my TeamSpeak server, we have found that it just depends on what kind of photo you want to take. I mean, at this point, cameras in smartphones have grown to such a level that they're all pretty good. It's just what you can do with them that makes it better. It's a lot of times the processing after rather than the actual camera spec itself. Still a great camera. Takes awesome pictures. Not DSLR killer by any means, but definitely going to be good for you. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the 5.5-inch 2560 by 1440 IPS screen on this thing. It is a beauty. It's also slightly curved, which apparently makes a difference. I don't see a difference. Some of my friends were like, well, that's so cool, that's curved. I'm like, I don't really care, but hey, yeah, sure. I think it does help a little bit in the hand with ergonomics, but to be honest, my hand's just kind of small and really is not meant for this size phone, so it doesn't really help me much. And ergonomics gets really upped with the LG line of phones. Now, I would just say LG G4, but this was also in the G3, and I don't know about the G2, was the back buttons. This is just so much better. For me, this is an opinion, for me. This is, in my opinion, this is just so much better than the side buttons. I mean, it's just right where your index finger sits. Click it, it just, it's beautiful. There's nothing more to say about those buttons other than you need them. My only complaint spec-wise would honestly be the rear-facing speaker that can be easily covered up by your hand while you're watching a video. So say you're watching a video, covering up by your hand. That's it. It's just not a good place for a speaker. Now, I know a lot of people want front-facing speakers. I can see in a design standpoint why they did put them, because front-facing speakers are hard to implement in a way that makes them look good. I know that from a design standpoint. So I don't give them too much hate for not using front-facing speakers, but the back-facing speaker that is easily covered by your hand really does annoy me, despite it being very loud. Going to the OS, you have a pretty light skin of Android. To be honest, I don't think it makes that big of a difference. If you really don't like the skin of Android, then you could just root it. I know that some people are like, no, not everybody can root their phones, blah, 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 blah. To be honest, I'm pretty sure a good amount of the people who watch my videos can do that. Now, if we're talking about your grandma, I know she can't root her phone. It's basically stock Android with a few little features that are kind of pointless to me and nothing I actually really care about. One thing I wish they had was the stuff on the OnePlus 2, I mean the OnePlus 1 and OnePlus 2, where you can do like the circle, the V, the chide, to pause, play, camera, all that stuff. Because honestly, I really did like that, and I found that I've missed that with this new phone. And the last cool feature I'd like to point out is the awesome IR blaster at the top. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but the fact that it's even included is a pretty cool thing. Okay, so let's get into the pros and cons. I find opening a notification from the lock screen to be kind of weird and awkward. There's no like slide into it to open right there. You have to like slide it and then slide again to unlock, even though I don't have a password. So that can be easily fixed in a software update. I'm just hoping that they somehow see this and fix that. And another real complaint is that the LG G4's IR receiver is actually really weak. From across my room, which is about 10 feet, I cannot use my G4 as the remote, despite it having an IR receiver. That is because it is just not powerful enough to reach 10 feet across my room to my TV without any interference at all. Not great at all. Now, if you move it a little closer, I think about 8 feet, you can use it, but 8 feet is closer than most people's living room setups or bedroom setups, so don't know why it was even included if it doesn't really work that well. I don't know if that's a software update, but I'm pretty sure that is actually the transmitter itself. Another thing with the skin is that the stock like images, the stock icons rather, are really ugly. Just my opinion, I just think they are ugly. You can obviously change that, but just something to add. Another thing is the fact that LG allowed AT&T to put their ugly ass logo on the back of my awesome phone. I don't know like how many things that they have to control with that. I don't know if like they can, but if they could, LG, please pay an extra little bit of money and don't put that dumb logo on the back of my phone because it really makes it look much uglier. Another thing is LED can't be customized, which is kind of annoying. Like I wish I could change the color for like charging and charge and stuff like that, but it can't be. So hopefully that would again be fixed in a software update. That definitely could be, but probably not. Then the last two things are the fact that there is no wireless charging, which I really love. I wish they had Qi wireless charging, but there's not. There's like an extra little battery thing you could put and replace the NFC sticker with wireless charging, but that's a little sketchy. Also, I'm not a big fan of the fact that they didn't include 4K video, something that has been on phones for a few years now, but I don't really care that much. Just a little gripe of mine. So we got the cons out of the way, let's go to the pros. We have kick-ass specs, awesome camera, feels great in the hand, back-facing buttons, textured, easily distinguishable buttons, looks great, especially love the LG G4 logo in the back. I mean, just awesome logo. Just cool logo. Awesome screen, lightweight Android skin, smart settings were awesome, and a micro SD card slot. How many phones can say that in 2015? Actually, the only flagship I have seen in 2015 with the micro SD card slot has been this guy. Specs are out of the way. I got some pros and cons out of the way. Let's get to my final conclusion. If you were in the market for a new phone, bought a phone a few years ago, need a new Android phone, and like the look and feel, specs, and pros and cons of the G4, then I'd say pick it up. It's an awesome phone. I'd say one of the best of 2015, if not the best of 2015, which is why I bought one myself. And it would also be a major step up if you didn't have anything like this in the past. LG G4, awesome buy, recommend it. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys liked this episode. I know I haven't been uploading in a while once again. I will try to produce regular content just like I used to. Just busy with schoolwork and sleep. Mostly sleep. Also, I'd like all of you guys to go check out Pit My Setup episode 50 where I co-starred for the first 10 minutes. If you guys like to see an episode with just me and Matt, then go beg him on Twitter. Just keep screaming like, yeah, Tech Clash on Pit My Setup, full episode. Come on, Matt. I know most of you guys probably won't, but hey, if there's like 2 people, you might think about it. Maybe. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. Tech Clash Rakowski here, signing out, reminding you to share this with your grandma, comment down below, and leave a like. Peace.